Hi everybody, and I think I'm actually going live. For some reason, my phone wouldn't stay connected to the internet, so I had to turn everything off and turn it all back on again. So that's the cure, isn't it? When in doubt, turn everything off and then start again. So thankfully it's starting. We're a little bit late, 10 minutes late, so I'm sorry about that, but better late than never, they say. So welcome to Monday Night Stamping, and this is a place where we can chat, we can connect, and we can create as we unlock some paper crafting fun and yeah, just that kind of thing. I'm a little flustered, can you tell? My name is Lillian from Stampers Niche, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Alberta, Canada. And today is June the 3rd. It's hard to believe it's June the 3rd. And I had to put a sweater on today. It's a cool one here today. But we had a gorgeous, gorgeous weekend. So as I'm going down to my desktop, why don't you write in? I had something to ask you and I forget what it is. So why don't you just say hi and let us know where you're from, and see if you know any familiar names on here tonight. That's all I'm going to do, I think, because I don't know quite what I'm doing here, but I'm just thankful that we are alive here. So there we go, and we will put this out like that, and seems to be just not in the right spot. So thank you for hanging in there with me tonight, and I'm so glad you're here. So what I've got on my desk here is a prize that I promised I would do a random draw for tonight for anyone who cased something from the catalog and shared it. So in my Facebook group, we like to share things and inspire each other, and several of you shared, and some of you are getting braver about doing that. So I'm so thankful that you are, and I wanted to encourage that. So I have some names on my wheel of names here, and what we'll do is just press this button, and around it goes, and we will see where it stops. So Catherine, you have won this packet of embellishments. I love these embellishments. And you'll notice this little banner that's on here. It's made with the paper we're using tonight. I'd like to say I planned it, but it's a happy accident, I think. Anyway, so I will pop that in. I know Catherine's address, so I will pop that in the mail to her right away. Also, you might have seen earlier today, I went online and went live, pardon me, and shared about this. This is a brand new class that I have had ready to go, and I just had to get it ready to register. So it is just a really fun, it's called Fold-tastic Fun. So it's got these projects in it. Then there's the bonus project, which I usually have. And so if you want to know more about that, here is the link to join, or some of you like to use the QR code. A lot of us are using that a lot more. Just take your phone and zero in on that, and you can find the link to that, or you can reach out to me and I will give it to you as well. And speaking of classes, I have a monthly class that I hold in my stamping studio in my basement, and it's called Stamping Time, and it's open for everybody. And registration for June's is now open. So again, now this is your link, and this is the QR code. So if you want to take a screenshot or anything, and once again, just reach out and I can send you the link as well. So that being said, there's that. And then there's one more thing, and I forgot to print it off. So you're going to have to bear with me. Beginning tomorrow, and only for the month of June, Stampin' Up! Is releasing a new special. And the special is that you will save an additional 10% on any stamp and die bundle. So a stamp and die bundle, for example, let's just see. That's one, but I'm going to show that one to you later. But say, for example, here, this is one that we've used a lot. These dies are out of stock right now, but they're supposed to be in before the end of June, so keep checking. But for the bundle, when you buy things with a bundle, you save 10% already, and now during June, you'll save an additional 10%. So that's saving 20% if you had bought them individually versus the bundle. So it's for stamps and dies. And so if there's something on your list that in a bundle format, you might want to check that out. There's another item that's on 10% off, which is unheard of. They never put this on. And I forgot to mark the spot, but it's the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. I can't find it right now, both the big one and the mini. I had one customer just order the mini. She said, it looks so handy. I love my big one. I'm going to get a mini one too. So be aware that's starting tomorrow. That was in my newsletter today, and you'll be hearing lots more about that. But that's a way to save money. So let's take a look at what we're going to do tonight. We're going to be playing with the Full of Life class, or Full of Life class, pardon me, a Full of Life suite of products. So it starts on page 42 and goes to page 43, and you see the samples on this page, and you see all of the different things that coordinate. Now they all work separately too. So Catherine, you love your mini. I do too. In fact, tonight I had my big one full of something to show you, so I had to use my mini, and I was just so thankful for it. It's fabulous. It's so handy and great to take with me when I travel. Part of it is just starting to use it, and it's all 6x6 paper. Then there's this great stamp set and these dies, and the more I use this bundle, the more I absolutely love it. And then these two things, they are out of stock right now. They've been so popular, and I happen to have some. So I've used them before. You've seen me use them. They're gorgeous. They're so neutral, and they go with absolutely everything. So we're going to combine this suite with a card template and card template number 3. So this card template right here, and you find the card templates on page 22. Now, the card templates are sort of like to help you begin your design process. So what I did is I actually took some paper and recreated the template so that I could visualize it. Then I sort of went on a little template hunt. I went, okay, so this could look like this, or it could look like this, or it could look like this, or it could look like this. And I went through the catalog, but first off, I stopped right here. Does this look familiar? Here is the same template being used in just a very simple layout right there, and it's perfect. And another one is on page 120. So I encourage you sometime, if you're really exploring the catalog and want to look at it with fresh eyes, go on a template hunt. So this is actually a fold, but when it's folded up, it looks much the same. So to me, that's sort of the same too. So this is what the basic template was. I thought, well, it would be fun to, that's just my little notes to myself, to add an extra layer. You know how I like to look out I'm reading too many things at once here. How I like to add an extra layer sometimes. So we could always make this one, but we can go this way here. So I've got my kit here, and when I asked what color you wanted to use with this designer paper, you were all over the map. If I had chosen, I likely would have gone with Lemon Lime Twist because I love Lemon Lime Twist. But I would say the majority chose Petunia Pop. So that's what we're going with tonight. And then right at the last minute, my friend Karen Roth suggested throwing some black into the mix as a layer. So right about 6:30, after I saw her post, I was reconfiguring this to throw black into the layer. Now we could actually throw the white layer out and then cut this into strips and put it on black like that, and that would look stunning. But I decided, of course, I wanted to do white and black and this. So that's sort of where I'm heading. Okay. All right. So let me just show you how I planned this first off. What I have in my studio, what I made myself many years ago. These are well dog-eared. I have got 2 sets and they are identical. And I just kept cutting cardstock so that it was 1/8 of an inch difference all the way along. So this is 3 by 4 1/4. This one is 3 1/8 by 4 3/8, and so on. Then when I want to make a card, I can very easily say, oh, do I want to cut it? Oh, do I want to cut it 3 1/4 by 4 1/2? What kind of a border do I want to have? Do I want to have a bigger border like this? And I do a lot of my planning with these little pieces of cardboard, so I don't have to recut them. So I just wanted to share that with you. So that's how I started planning tonight. And the other thing is, as I also raid my garbage bin, you can see this was in the garbage, and I start cutting pieces so that I can figure out my sizing. So do I cut my good paper right away? No, I play around with scrap paper first till I think I know what I'm doing. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But anyway, we will see. So this is a piece of that 6 by 6 paper. So here is what it looked like before I cut into it, just like that. And then on the back side, it had these, like this, these polka dots. So fun paper, either way. So I am going to use this for the front of the card. This we can use for the envelope. This we could use on the inside if we wanted. So we'll put those two to the side, and we're actually going to fold our cardstock in half, our card base, and just put that like that. So now we've got our card base in Petunia Pop. Then we've got our black and we've got our white, and I made just a narrow border, so the 1/8 of an inch border. So the black is 4 by 5 1/4, and this is just an 1/8 of an inch smaller. So let's concentrate on our designer paper. So remember, this had 3 strips that were equal, right? So I started out, where did I put I got carried away taking labels off here. Well, I started out with, I'll measure it again. I lost this ruler and I was so lost without it. I've had it for years, but I just found it again. So we'll start with 3 3/8 by 4 7/8. And then, oh, here's the measurement here. When we turn it up, go to cut it, we're going to cut it in 1/8 increment so that we have 3 that are 1 1/8 by 4 7/8. How did I come up with that? Am I a wonderful mathematician? No, I play with my scrap paper well, is what happens. So let's move that to the side. I've already cut it to 4 1/8, so I just have to cut it at 1 1/8. So here's the 1 inch, and here's the 1/4 inch. The 1/8 is that other little line that's just a little bit longer than the other 2. So like that, like that. And then this is 1 1/8 as well. So we've got 3 at 1 1/8. Now we're going to layer them onto the white. Sometimes I emboss this. Tonight I'm just going to leave it plain. So we're going to arrange it. Now our decision is, are we going to keep all to the same design, or are we going to flip one over for a little variety? Because these polka dots aren't necessarily centered, I think we'll keep with the same design tonight. Now, if you're like me and you have trouble getting things centered properly, here's a little hint. always start with your 2 outside pieces first. And then you can put this in the middle and just wiggle it around. So like that. So I'm going to put this over here, start with this one, bring in my adhesive, and just put a little bit here. And because it's liquid, I'll be able to move it around, but I'm leaving an equal border. And if I play correctly with my scrap paper, it should work out. But this gives me that wiggle room. So we'll move it this way, and again, equal border. Now let's take a look. Have I got things lined up? Actually, it looks like I did not too badly. I lucked out tonight. I needed some luck somewhere after that rocky beginning. Here we go. So we've got all 3. Do you see how you can adjust what's the borders in the middle once you've done that? So we've got it just like that. And then again, another option would be to emboss that if you wanted. But we're going to layer this onto here like that. And then layer this onto here. That black really does make it pop, doesn't it? So thank you, Karen. So I'm going to put these 2 together and then put this on dimensionals just for a little bit of interest. How many of you like this paper, and how many of you're not so sure about it? Some people say, oh, it's just a bit bright for me. I'm not sure. Others are saying, oh, I love it. So like all paper, once you start to play with it, I'm finding it grows on me more and more. I'm really liking it. I like that we've got this sort of color wash here. Karen, yes, the black was a brilliant idea. I'm loving it, and I'm glad I was able to make it work at the last minute there. Now we'll put this, I'm not going to tie a ribbon around it, even though in the diagram it has a ribbon. I'm doing something just a little bit different. So I'll bring in my dimensionals here. I actually have some black ones, might as well use them. What I like about the black dimensionals is when you get them, both mini and regular size are in the same package. So you get the best of both worlds. Bring in my little container. If your dimensional backings aren't lifting very well, take your nail and just make that little indentation down the center, and it makes the edges raise up. That's another little tip for tonight. So, I guess the decision, should the pink be at the bottom or at the top? Okay, pink, bottom or top? I'm going to just wait for a minute while I find out. Pink at the top or the bottom? Pink at the top. Okay, let's go with that. And obviously, it didn't really matter. And at this point, we could have done it sideways too, right? Like that too. Anyway, so there we have it like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Well, actually, I'm just going to bring in the platform. I've already ran the pieces through. So we have, I just love the Spotlight Nature dies, so I'm just using them for everything. So we have these 2 pieces that cut out at the same time. So just for those of you who missed my video about intricate dies, you can see all these pieces caught in here. The best way to handle that is to bring in your die brush. Now, it comes with the foam piece, and I like to put the foam piece in a container, and then I just put my die down, and instead of poking every single one out separately, I just run my brush around. Look at it coming out like that, and it gets pretty much all of them out. You might have 1 or 2 left. that you can go, or you can poke out. So there is how you can clean these intricate dies out. And if they leave a lot of confetti on your cutting surface, this one didn't tonight, but the best way to take that off, and my friend Carmen reminded me of this, is use a lint brush, and that works beautifully as well. So just another little tip like that. And I had this all set up before we had the black inspiration. So now you're going to have to help me with another decision here. Put these to the side. I'll put them there so I don't lose them. So I had been thinking that this one would go on this, and we'd have a bit of petunia pop showing through, and we would go put this on here. And instead of the bow, I was going to bring in the die and put this here like that. Now, since we've added the black, I like to add black somewhere else as well. So I wondered, should we instead bring in a black circle underneath to add like that? And should we stamp in black? We could have had a black leaf too. So black or petunia circle. And let's see what we come up with there. Black or petunia circle. Which should we put underneath? The black or the petunia? Black. Okay, we'll go with that. And should we stamp in black or petunia? What do you think? Should we stamp in black or petunia pop? Black, black, black. I'm seeing black everywhere. Okay, we will go with that. And I had one done in petunia, and we can make another decision. I pressed a little hard with that black. Hopefully it stamps well. I forgot that I had just re-inked my ink pad. There we go. It's stamped just fine. All right, so before we fasten anything down, here again, we've gone with the black circle. So should we do petunia on that or black? I'm seeing black as the winner. You know what? I think you're divided. So here's the thing. If we used petunia, then I would use black embellishments, I think. If I use the black, I would use petunia embellishments. So we could go either way. I'm wondering if the black's a bit heavy. Maybe I'll go this way, and because I don't have the petunia embellishments out, I didn't think that far ahead. I will go this way and add black embellishments. But you can see how you could change it right out, right? So these two circles are the exact same size. So when you put the solid one underneath, you get that little bit of color coming through. And I love that. So we've got this like that. Now, some of you might be saying, where did that leaf come from? I cut it out of designer paper. I had some more scraps of the Full of Life designer paper, and I cut it out of some of the scraps, and that's where I got it from. So we have got that happening here. So instead of the bow, we have a leaf, and we've got this. I forgot to show you the die set in the bundle in case you were thinking of it for tomorrow. So there's the stamp set. So you've got all these great words. And here's the die. So this is the leaf. I love this leaf. It's nice and open. And there are all these different kinds of things. I'm going to show you something really neat we did yesterday with this. And here's my Get Acquainted sheet. So you can see it does all kinds of neat things. The heart cuts this out, but it also leaves this. So this actually will frame this if you want. This will layer on this. There are words that will fit right on here. or you can use this as colored splotches across your paper. Some great hearts, which we can never have too many of those, and some like that. So it's just great. So there, bring this back in, and I'm going to put this on dimensionals. I'm going to just put this right down. So I'm going to put just a little dab of glue here and plan this out like that, and then this will hold that down. And we will go, I think we'll just go like that. Now what I have brought in is the embellishments actually that Catherine just won. So these are black. Oh, I just remembered something, which maybe would have affected our decision. I also cut out some Petunia Pop hearts out of the glimmer paper. So we could have gone that way too. But now that we've chosen this and the black, I think we need to go with the black. I'll make that executive decision right now. So we are going to go, we'll put one up here and another one down here. And just like that, that is our card for tonight. Now what we can do is we can, where did I put my paper here? We have these scraps. So what we can do is use the scraps on the inside, right? So this we could put on the inside. We could cut it down if we wanted. And then this one we can use on the envelope, which I'm just going to grab. Like this, and I think most of you know how to do this, but just in case, I'm going to put adhesive on the envelope like this. How many of you decorate your envelopes, whether you stamp on them or you add some designer paper? I've received some gorgeous cards from you, and I know a lot of you do, and it makes you happy right before you even open up your card. So what I'm doing here, some of you might not have seen, is I'm using the edge here to help me line up my edges. So I'm putting this like that. So the edge of the envelope is pushed up against, and the edge of my paper is pushed up against. So that makes it all work together. And then we're bringing in our paper snips and snip off the excess using the envelope as our guide. Yes, Karen, you always do a fabulous job of decorating your envelopes. You emboss them and all kinds of wonderful things. It's really great. So there, now we have the matching envelope. And we were using template number 3. So this template right here that started out like this, and this is one of the ways that it looks. So let me move some of this out of the way. I have some more samples using this template, but I just wanted to show you something. I've shown you the Full of Life designer paper before, and here it is here. So it's sort of geometric on one side and the splotches on the other. And as you can see, just even flipping through, they are tons and tons of different colors. So you know how they list on the back the colors that coordinate with the paper? I have to put these sideways so you can see them all. These are all the suggested colors for coordination. I would also suggest that peach pie looks good with it. We've discovered tonight that black looks good with it. I think you could almost use any color with this designer paper. It's pretty amazing. So let's see. What else have we got here? I wanted to show some other layouts using this template. So this is one here using, I think it's called the Lovely and Sweet designer paper. And this time, instead of using a circle, I used the band. I did include some ribbon, but I tore the bottom. And you can see here that the white layer is embossed. So that adds that texture right there. And then this one here, I just embossed. You don't have to use designer paper. You can stamp on paper. On this one, you can see they're not all the same. They're all three different. And then this one is just embossed. So the layers were cut. I used the butterfly from the paper butterfly accents. I've shown them to you before. There's a whole slew of them in here, and they come white so you can color them. So there's that, and then I used a bit of that ribbon underneath. So there's another variation. I'm always telling you to look at things sideways, and I've been using everything pretty much the same way. So I made one that was sideways, and I staggered my layers as well, my strips. Now this literally these were the sizes of my scraps that left over from the lavender paper. And so this worked beautifully for this card. And I had to get it pretty short, but still wanted the length so I could stagger it. So I just added a little bit top and bottom. Yes, you could use a lot of this design. You could make it with different paper, and for masculine cards, you could make it for anything. And Father's Day is coming up, and we've got masculine birthdays in our lives, I know. And then as I was looking around, I thought, oh, I just received, I know I showed this last week, but I received this from Sandy Allman, and she actually added more strips. She put 4, but this is still the basic design, right? It's strips of paper and a place for the words, and that's basically what it is. So you can use, it doesn't have to be a circle, it can be a different shape. You can add this, you don't even have to have words. It all works out like that. So just wanted to share that with you and let you be a little bit inspired, and hopefully that you will go cut up some of your paper or dig out some of your scraps and try this card. The templates in the catalog are just a wonderful, wonderful jumping off spot. So go for it. And how many of you have made a template? Use the template and use some it for your card. Maybe let us know that. Maybe that's what I should be doing for a challenge next week. Anyway, thanks for joining me tonight. Thanks for hanging in there with all the technical difficulties at the beginning. And I'm so creative. Not really, but I get on a roll, and I don't know if I get fixated on something, then I can't stop creating. I know some of you are like that too. So that's just how it goes. You know, I could stop after 1 or 2, but oh no, I want to keep going when I should be doing something else. Anyway, thank you. Remember, if you ever want to purchase any of these things, reach out. If you have questions, reach out. I'm here to help you. All right. But take care, everybody, and bye-bye.